Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be reading a book called Ellie, and then we'll be making some of our own artwork. I want you to notice the illustrations, the drawings in the book. They look like they're ink and watercolor. On a bright winter day, when Ellie was just finishing her lunch, the zookeeper came in with a big announcement. "Gather round," Walt called. "I have some news." You see the animals sitting around? "It's a sad day," he said. "The zoo is closing." The animals were heartbroken. "There must be something we can do," Ellie said to her friends. "The zoo is our home." "Perhaps we can spruce it up a bit," Gerard suggested. Gerard always had good ideas. "I'll prune the trees," Lucy said, nibbling a leaf. So this is Lucy. "If only my trunk were longer," said Ellie. Ellie couldn't reach. "I'll move this rock," Gerard huffed, clearing the path. "If only my muscles were bigger," said Ellie. "We already cleaned here," said the monkeys. "What can I do to help?" Ellie wondered. It seemed like everyone had a talent. Everyone but Ellie. Ellie thought she'd ask Walt to give her a job, but he was too busy. When the monkeys called him away, Ellie picked up the strange object he had been holding. It had smooth wood on the bottom and prickly hairs on the other side. You see what Ellie's holding? That strange object is a paintbrush. Isn't that great? Ellie gave it a try. When Walt returned, he saw her creation. He sprinted back down the path without a word. Can you see what Ellie painted? A beautiful sunflower. Had she ruined the wall? She was wondering why Walt left. She didn't know what was going on. Soon she heard a wagon with a squeaky wheel turn the corner. Maybe Walt did like her painting. Look at what Walt brought. He brought cans of paint and all sorts of colors for her. Ellie added color here and a rainbow there. So she tried using all the colors now. She's having fun painting. There are so many walls to color and so many colors to try. Ellie painted all of her friends. She painted the tallest ones, the smartest, and the quiet ones. I think she found her talent. Squeak! Word spread of Ellie's talent. So the mouse told the lion, and the lion told them, and he said, "Roar!" And he said, "Ellie's the artist." And he called all those people and told them. People came from all over the city to have portraits painted. Some came with balloons, others came with awards. Ellie even painted Mr. Mayor with a smile. Soon people from around the world came to see Ellie, the remarkable painting elephant. Lucy hosted the crowds as they arrived at the zoo. Gerard led tours through Ellie's art gallery. See the sign for her art gallery? And all her paintings on the wall? People came to see them. And on a bright spring day, the crowds cheering him on, Walt declared, "We are open for good, thanks to Ellie." Isn't that great? So they all worked hard to keep that zoo open, and Ellie found her talent. Okay, so now we'll be doing our art project. We will be painting just like Ellie, but we will use watercolors. And if you have heavier paper to paint on, that would be great. If not, you can use copy paper, just don't use a lot of water. It will curl up. Okay, that was a great book. And a beautiful watercolor pictures inside. Nice and soft. So what we're going to paint today is, you know, Ellie's first big painting she did was that beautiful flower on the wall, the big sunflower. We're going to do that. So if you have the tubes of watercolor paint, that's fine. If you have these kind, the pan kind, that's fine. Whatever you have in the house is great. Or you can use food coloring with water will work as well. Have a cup of water ready, paper towels ready, and we're not going to draw first this time. We're going to actually just paint. When you have watercolors, the one thing I want you to be able to do though, if you have these pan style, you have to put some water in the colors that you'll be using just to get it going, because they dry up, but the good thing is you can just keep reusing them. So you just put some drops of water in, let it sit for a bit. You can eventually stir it up. So we're going to be doing a sunflower, so I'm going to put some water drops in my green colors and yellow and orange and red, just to get them ready. So for the sunflower, I'm going to hold my paper vertical, up and down like a water bottle. I'm going to get my paintbrush nice and wet. I'm using a medium-sized brush. I also have a little smaller brush ready to go, but I'm going to start with the medium. So the first thing to do is get your brush loaded up with water. That means don't wipe it off when you pull it to the edge of the cup. So dunk it in the water so it's almost to the point where it's dripping. And let's make a circle in the middle of the page. Okay, it's going to be hard for you to see, but let's make a circle about the size of the cup. So paint a circle with the water so it's almost puddling on the paper. Really can't see that. You'll see it in a minute. We're going to add some color to it. So before it dries, you're going to grab some paint, watercolor paint on your brush, swish it around in that paint, and add some drops to the edge. Can you see it? It's fanning out, isn't that great? So what it does is it floats in the water. And I'm going to add a little bit of orange as well, because I want the middle of my sunflower to be a little darker than the petals. So I'm going to put some orange and maybe even a little bit of red. Can you see that fanning out? Isn't that fun? So the trick to this is to do all of this before the water dries. And it makes great patterns. Look at that. It's fun to just watch what it's going to do. Okay, we're going to let that dry a little bit. And we're going to wait on the petals, and we're going to use our green. If you have green, use the green for the stem and leaves. If you don't have green, you can always mix the colors blue and yellow, which are primary colors. Red, blue, and yellow are primary colors. If you mix the blue with the yellow, you will get green. So I have a few different shades of green here. I'm going to mix them up a little bit. right on my brush. We're going to let that center dry. And I'm going to start down here and pull up to about there. And get some more paint on my brush. And if you have a wide brush like this, you can push down and lift up, and that will make a leaf. And then on the other side, do the same thing. Here, I'll do it with my other hand. Push down, lift the brush up to bring it to a point. So let's make a few leaves on this. And you can make them flop over like that and come to a point. I think this one needs to be a little bigger. We'll make it a little floppier. There we go. And this one we can do again, but make a little bit bigger because we're going to make a large sunflower. Isn't that fun? If you need more water, don't worry about, oops, you got a drip over here. All you need is paper towel, lift that right up. Don't forget to get more water on your brush. There we go. And if you want to erase with watercolor, believe it or not, you can just use water and your brush. Just kind of scrub it out and dab, and you can lift that right up. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so I want to do a little more green leaves. Let's try another one over here. So we're going to lift and pull, lift your brush so it comes to a point. This one we can make a bigger point. This one needs a point. There we go. If you have other shades of green, I have this really light green I'm going to try to put on one side of my stem. Because when you're outside looking at plants, pay attention and look at the leaves and the stems. There's so many shades of green. There's lights and darks all mixed in. Okay, now some of that up top is drying. This is puddling down here, so we're going to start on the top and we'll make our petals. I'm going to get some yellow on my paintbrush. Oops, I'm splashing today. That's okay. You can just dab, lift it right up. So we'll do the same thing. You can push the paintbrush down and pull it up. Make some really big sunflower petals. And sunflowers you have to look at really carefully. They have so many petals on them that are intertwined, overlapping, all different sizes. They're beautiful. So we're going to go all the way around without touching the center because it will pull that wet paint out. We don't want to pull that into it yet. So press your brush down, pull it up. Press the brush down so the bristles go out and then pull it up. There we go. And the bigger the brush, the bigger the petals. You can go back in and make them larger if you don't have a big brush, but do the same thing. So get paint on your brush, press it down. I'm going to do it with my other hand so you can see. Press down so the bristles get big and then pull up and it comes to a little bit of a point. There we go. And if this is dry, you can go right over it. You can make some really big ones. Oops, now see, this is what I was saying. If you touch the puddle, it's going to pull the paint over there. So what you do is just use your handy paper towel that you have nearby and dab it. Okay, I have to add more water to my watercolors and pull, 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 pull so the petal gets big. Now we're going to add some more colors. Ellie had orange petals and yellow petals and some red petals mixed in, and they were very big. So I'm going to mix actually a little bit of orange with my yellow and put some back here. Because, like I said, sunflowers have overlapping petals. Here we go. So do the same thing all the way around And you can pull your brush up to make them pointy. You pick what colors you would like to do. If you'd like to do some reds in there, you can. If you just want light yellow and darker yellow, you can do that. There we go. It's our beautiful sunflower, just like Ellie's sunflower that she painted that ended up starting everything at the zoo to help out. See some of the paints running together there, so you do the same thing, just roll up the paper towel, tap, 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 lift up some of that paint, and you can do it on these ones, tap, tap, tap. One way to avoid that is you can do one layer, like the yellow petals, and then walk away, let it dry, and come back and do the orange. But it's okay if they're overlapping though too, because that's what sunflowers look like. The leaves are all tight together. Now, you can see that it got a little wet here on the green. I'm just going to pull my brush through. That is a beautiful, beautiful sunflower. Very happy. Makes us smile today. We have a nice sunny day today. So I hope you enjoyed doing your painting, and I will see you soon. And don't forget to sign your artwork. I don't have my pen with me today, so I'm going to sign it in pencil, but you can sign yours in pen. Okay, so put your initials on it, because you are the artist, and you made a beautiful painting today. Have a good day.